Okay, good morning. My name is Filippo Vettorato. I'm a consultant for Microfinanza SRL. Two words on Microfinanza SRL. It's a consulting company, Italian consulting company, providing consulting services to microfinance institutions and financial institutions in general for the development of financial inclusion services in Europe, but also in developing countries. The Microfinanza SRL is a consulting company, but there is the group Microfinanza Group that is a group composed by three institutions. There is Microfinanza SRL, that is the consulting company, and then there is Microfinanza Rating, that is the rating company, one of the most important rating companies in the world for the evaluation on microfinance institutions. And then there is the little association that is the Associazione Microfinanza e Sviluppo that develops we can say the cultural projects of our group. And also there is an important participation of our group in impact finance, that is an investment fund devoted to social finance and social economy that started up last year, and it's becoming more and more important in the social economy, international social economy. So thank you very much for attending to this workshop. And the topic of today it will be, as you know, it will be the business development services. And during this morning, we will talk about the we can say the main trends in Europe on business development services. And we will expose some, I hope, not only the best practice and all the good results Europe is reaching in this field, but I think that the most important thing is to expose a little bit the critical issues all the microfinance industry is facing in this field. So, because it is one of the most crucial services that microfinance must deliver, but it's very, very difficult to the operators of this market to develop and give effective services in this field. So there will be a little presentation from me, and after that there will be the presentation of Tibor, and we can consider it as a case study in the field of BDS. And then I hope that there will be, during all the morning, there will be an active role from you, from all the participants, in order to develop a good discussion on this topic, because I think that the main objective that we have this morning is to develop a sort of synthesis on this topic, and to give some new ideas or reflections on BDS. And maybe to give this synthesis to EMN, even to EMN, in order to let's say give to EMN some new ideas on BDS, and let's consider also the possibility that EMN, as a lobbying institution, could go to the European Union and to the European Commission and expose this idea at this higher level. So let's start with a definition of BDS in order to have a common idea on what are BDS and this can be the starting point for our discussion. Let's take it. BDS is an ensemble of tools of services that refers to the set of activities regarding communication, information, training, technical assistance, and tutoring that a financial institution or a specialized organization carry out for the benefit of their target, combined with an intervention of a financial nature, first of all credit, in order to increase the level of financial and economic inclusion for entrepreneurs, beneficiaries or clients, and or increase or maintain their repayment capacity. So there are some questions that where we can find some answer on some questions on first of all on what are BDS. BDS first of all services regarding communication and information. So BDS are not only technical assistance or training services, but we can consider that BDS start from information, dissemination of information at the population level, above all, and the most excluded shares of the population, economical and financially excluded shares of the population. So this is a first important service that microfinance or specialized organization can provide to their target. Information on what? On micro enterprise, on the difficulties also to start up a new enterprise, and on microfinance, on the possibilities and the critical issues linked to this kind of services. But and also, as we said, we can say that the main services that can be referred to BDS is the training and technical assistance. So in this case, it's more structured service regarding the training on business planning, on enterprise management, on accounting system, on market development, on marketing, and so on. And also technical, more we say also individual technical assistance. So not only training on general topics, but even on specific topics regarding the management and the life of an enterprise. There is also the tutoring services. So we can consider that there are some services that can be provided in a pre-financing, in a pre-startup phase, and there are also some services that can be provided in the pre and in the post-startup phase. For example, the tutoring is one of the most important. That is the service created in order to lead or to go with the entrepreneur towards the development of his enterprise. Who develops this kind of services? There are two main ways to provide this kind of services. That the first one is through integrated BDS integrated within the financial institution. Sometimes the microfinance institution develop special units, internal units, developing this kind of services. And in other cases, there are some specialized institution organization that are specialized in the provision of BDS services that are separated from the microfinance institution, and in the two modes of delivery. There are some advantages and disadvantages, and after in the second part of the presentation we will see also what are the advantages and the disadvantages linked to these methodologies of provision. How the BDS are provided. The BDS are usually provided in coordination and are combined with the intervention of financial services, direct financial services. First of all, credit. This is very important because on the market we can already find some services for the development of enterprise. There are the chambers of commerce. There are other institutions that are specialized in the development of small, micro and small enterprise. But it's very important to develop client-oriented services. It means that the clients of microfinance institution, in order to have good results, repayment results, in order to have good results in terms of sustainability of their enterprises, they must have, it's really a must, they must have tailored services. It means that they must have BDS tailored on their own characteristics, on the characteristics of their enterprise, and also tailored on the other issues, that is the social condition, their cultural condition, their geographical origin condition. So these are all issues that are very important when we develop business development services. So one of these issues is that the financial, the technical assistance, training and tutoring services must be linked to the financial services. So if we consider that a client is going to receive to borrow a loan for I don't know, for in order to buy some fixed asset tools for its enterprise, we must give training and technical assistance services that are tailored on this kind of perspective, financial perspective. This is very important. Why? Why BDS are provided? First of all, in order to increase the financial inclusion level of the clients or beneficiaries of microfinance program. This is the general objective of microfinance and also of BDS. But we can say that it's very important also in order to increase or maintain the borrower repayment capacity. This is very important because we can say that the minimalistic trend, the minimalistic approach in microfinance in developing countries is quite different. I mean that the level of complexity of economical market in local markets in developing countries is very different from the one in Europe. So in order to start up a micro enterprise, for example, in African countries, is sufficient to have some products to build up a little table on the road and sell the products. In Europe it's very different, because in order to start up a new enterprise we are forced to consider other important elements regarding the legal framework of the country, the market, the complexity of the market, the complexity of the organizational structure, the complexity of the accounting system, that it's very important also for micro enterprises in Europe, and so on. So we can say that we cannot, in Europe, we cannot adopt a minimalistic approach, but it's really a must to consider the possibility to deliver a credit, but deliver also some services linked to the development of the enterprise. And these services are very, very important for in order to increase the repayment capacity of the entrepreneurs, of the borrowers. So we can also say that we can say also that the BDS are aimed at helping the entrepreneurs to overcome some subjective non-financial critical issues that could have a negative impact on their activity. What are these personal subjective critical issues? First of all, this is more important aspects to consider. First of all, the perception of entrepreneurial and technical skills. So the new entrepreneur, first of all, he must understand what are his personal skills, personal entrepreneurial and technical skills. Is the person really able to start up and to manage a new enterprise? Is he able to at a characterial level to face the big problems that a new entrepreneur must face during his activity, and also the technical aspects regarding the management qualities, the technical skills linked to the capacity to read an income statement and so on, a financial statement, and to manage also the accounting aspects, daily aspects of an enterprise. This is a first important service, is that it's very important to provide before the provision of a credit for addressed to the development of an enterprise. The second aspect, personal subjective aspect, is the precision of the entrepreneurial idea. Sometimes we can find some new entrepreneurs that have beautiful enterprise ideas, but they didn't fixed in their head the edges of their idea. So they didn't find the limits of their idea, and so they have a general idea, but that they don't know. Sometimes they don't know how they can develop their idea, translate their idea in the reality. So it's very important, consequently, to provide some services that can help the new entrepreneurs to face this important phase. The third aspect is the enterprise establishment. So we talked about the complexity of European economical, social, and legal context. So it's very important to help even the micro enterprises, to help them to face the establishment phase at the regulative and administrative level. So which are the procedures and the bureaucracy linked to the startup of a new enterprise. the fourth aspect, subjective aspect, is the credit access capacity. I mean, sometimes there is a good idea, there is a good business plan, so the idea is very, very sharp, very structured, but there is maybe there isn't a sufficient credit access capacity from the potential borrower. I mean, there are no guarantees. There is a financial structure, an inadequate cash flow, foreseen cash flow for the enterprise, and so there is a sort of lack of credit access capacity. So we must, in this case, the BDS must help the entrepreneur to improve this aspect. And sometimes the second aspect is that the borrower the entrepreneur don't have enough information on the financial market, so they don't have enough information on the possibility offered by the local financial market. For example, in Italy, we have many microfinance programs. But if you ask it to, for example, an immigrant, what are the possibility for you to get a loan from the Italian financial system? They say only that they can have a loan from the little financial non-bank financial institutions. For example, Compass, and so these little non-bank financial institutions. But there are also the microfinance program. There are many possibilities for the immigrants, but they don't have enough information on it. So we also have the possibility to help them at communication and information level, to help them to access to this kind of information. This is very important. One other aspect is the enterprise productivity. So we can improve the productivity level of micro enterprises even through tailored technical assistance services on this issue. And also in order to increase their competitiveness. So through a good marketing plan, through even through networking services. Sometimes the micro entrepreneurs are not they don't have a good knowledge of the economical context, not only at the market level, but also what are the potential stakeholders in the local markets in terms of clients, of supporting services, of suppliers, and so on. So if you have any question, or if you can also in this phase you can expose your experience on what I'm saying, you are really welcome. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the trends. What is what are the main trends at the European Union level on the BDS? We can say that in the last decade the policy of the European Union has changed really in a significant way, because we can say that at the beginning the approach, the European Union approach in general, the market microfinance market approach in Europe was very similar to the one adopted in the developing countries. I mean, at the beginning, the mainstream was the minimalist approach. I mean, only credit, and the entrepreneurs they have already their own capacities to develop their own enterprise ideas. But the experience proved in the different phases that it's not right to adopt a strict minimalist approach, but it's more useful and more effective for the microfinance industry to adopt an integrated approach. So credit and business development services, this is for as regards the enterprise financial services for the enterprise, but also for individual lending, also for social lending. So in this case, the collateral services are not on the enterprise development, but for example on financial education and so on. So the policy has changed during the last decade, and we can better understand this changement just reading the declarations of the representatives of the European Union and then the European Commission during the last years. Let's read, for example, this declaration. Successful experience have demonstrated that even low qualified people and people facing social difficulties can recover autonomy through self-employment if they are properly accompanied through the development of a project. However, setting up and increasing investment in loan funds which offer microcredit does not suffice, and not all business proposal or people are investment ready. This is the key. This is why the provision of business development services is important. So we can say that the European Union is more and more becoming conscious of the importance of BDS, because they can understand that not all the people, not all of the potential entrepreneurs are ready to start up their business, and sometimes the credit can carry not only advantages in this case, but also big problems for the people. So to become borrower of a financial institution, a bank or a microfinance institution, can become for the entrepreneur a big problem if he hasn't the capacities, the skills, technical and personal skills to develop his ideas, enterprise ideas. Let's see this other declaration. The provision of non-financial services, in particular mentoring, is essential to increase the chance of survival of startups and small enterprises. This declaration highlights the importance of post-startup and post-credit provision services, particularly the mentoring services. So all the ensemble of service of BDS, that personal services offered to micro entrepreneurs after the provision of the loan disbursement, and after the starting up moment. Another important you can say phase of the development of a sharper policy on the BDS is the report of Business Environment Simplification Task Force. In this report, we can find some conclusions on the business development services, and we can say that you can see how the importance of these results. First of all, the first conclusion is that there is a strong need of improvement both in the coherence and the quality of support services. The importance of tailoring support schemes, stronger client orientation, rationalization and coordination of existing services, stronger inclusion of the new IT into support schemes. You can see that this report has really has some strategic conclusions that are very, very important for the development of BDS in Europe. So first of all, the quality of the services. In your opinion, what are the elements that can negatively affect the BDS in Europe? So this is a question that I pose to you. But we have to consider that I think that there is a good evidence of the link between BDS and good results of the loan. If you consider that BDS are not only personal tutoring, technical assistance services, but also we can say that the pre-startup services. First of all, the most, I think that the most important service is the one that helps the entrepreneur to better fix his enterprise idea. Not only as regards the business plan definition, so on, but the service that can help the entrepreneur to answer to this question: is your enterprise idea really sustainable? Are you able to develop your idea? Really, this is the first question, because sometimes you can find some people that maybe have all can comply all the conditions for the access of the credit, but they didn't have really a sharp idea, sufficiently fixed idea of their business, and an objective evidence of this positive results of BDS can be seen in the second part of the presentation, where we can find the percentage of micro enterprise still alive after this kind of services, in comparison with the ones that didn't have any kind of BDS. So the other issue is the importance of tailoring support schemes. So and this is another critical aspect, because tailored services are very, very expensive. So this is these are all the desiderata, we can say, of the European Union, but it's very, very difficult on the reality to consider this kind of service as sustainable, because the tailored services are very important, but at the same time are very, very expensive. Stronger client orientation is part of this orientation. But there is the other aspect that is not so expensive: the coordination among the existing institutions or support enterprise support programs. Maybe this is an institutional activity that maybe it's cost effective, because it's quite easy at national, regional and local level to coordinate all the strategies and activities towards the same target. This could be really improved without having really high costs. Another phase is in 2000. There is this European Charter of Small Enterprises, where the European Commission finally formally recognized the importance of high quality business support services. This is another important step in the definition of the European Union policy. But maybe the turning point, one of the most important phases is in 2007, when the European Union activated the JASMINE program that was presented by Francesco. And this is maybe the most important program in European microfinance industry, in order created in order to improve the performances of microfinance program in Europe. And one of the most important components of this European program is the improvement of BDS. And there are some final conclusion in the reports of JASMINE that are that regard the BDS, and we can see that the JASMINE program highlights the importance of training, mentoring, and business development services in order to increase the chances of success of new micro enterprises. But on the other hand, these reports stress the fact that BDS are hardly sustainable and most often rely on public and volunteer support. So this is always the same question: who pays for it? And consequently, the orientation, the policy, the general policy of the European Union is more and more to link. For example, JASMINE program, but also the FEI programs, funds program, to other structural funds. For example, the European Social Fund, the European Regional Development Fund. So, in order to find new resources, financial resources that can be used to improve BDS in Europe. So this is maybe the most important trend at nowadays for the European Union. And I think that this is one of the most important roles of EMN, for example. EMN and you also has microfinance practitioners and institutions that have daily relationships with entrepreneurs. All the industry must do a strong lobbying action towards the European Commission in order to find these resources. But because the question who pays for it I think that has already an answer. Even if there are some good experiences in Europe, for example, the one you said in Romania, but in general, it's very, very difficult to build up a specialized organization, BDS specialized organization that can reach a good sustainable sustainability level. So, consequently, the answer is that okay, some costs must be covered by the borrower, the beneficiaries, but it's very important that the public institutions at local, regional, national, and international European level must increase their efforts, financial efforts, on this side. I don't know, what do you think about that? A description of the categories of BDS. We can, I think that we can consider two different categories. There are some strategic services and there are strategic services and operational services. The first category is aimed at helping the organizational, financial, economic, and management and marketing planning in the medium and long term. So these services are aimed at helping the micro entrepreneurs to better plan the perspective of their enterprise life at financial, economic, management, and marketing level. And these services can be provided in a pre-startup phase and also in the sometimes in the post-startup phase. But there are also the operational services that are, for example, tutoring, mentoring services that can be provided in post-startup phase. That are all all those services that help the entrepreneur to manage to do the daily life of their enterprise for the accounting aspects, legal aspects, and so on, market and so on. In this slide, we want to show you what are the determinants of the BDS. What are the main elements that can positively and negatively affect the results in the provision of BDS. So as you can see on the left, there are some subjective elements and some other elements that are linked to the business characteristics. So the first category we can, as example, we can say there is the gender. The gender of the entrepreneur, his or her age, the nationality, the school education level, and the professional formation, so the technical skills of the entrepreneur, and also the social security benefits. Is the entrepreneur supported by other external financial resources? Because sometimes the entrepreneur starts up its own enterprise just in a critical economic moment of his life. So, but this is really a critical moment for the entrepreneur, even at a financial level. So. Even if maybe he hasn't a job in that moment, is he also able to have some other incomes from the public institutions? So on the left, we can find also the business characteristics, and the main elements are the legal status, the sector of the enterprise, the startup risk, this is very important, and also the bank type. These are the characteristics of the entrepreneur. But there are, for the good results of the BDS, we must consider also fundamentally the characteristics of the BDS process. We call it coaching process in this slide. And the main elements are the coaching completion. So what is the starting and ending date of the BDS services? Do we provide it in a pre-startup phase or in a post-startup phase? And if we provide it in the post-startup phase, how long does it last? 6 months? 2 months, 1 year, 2 years, even also after the total reimbursement of the loan. There are some programs that are involved also in the provision of BDS in this phase. The coaching duration. So not only when, but how long. And also the coaching focus, training, technical assistance, tutoring, mentoring, and so on. And these determinants can affect the results in two ways. The coach, first of all, the level of satisfaction of the coachee. Sometimes the coachee, the beneficiary of BDS, leave the BDS program before its conclusion. So this can affect also the results of his own enterprise. So and he leaves this BDS program maybe because it's not satisfied by the process. Considering all these characteristics, so this is very important, the level of satisfaction of the coachee. So it means that when we build up BDS services, we must consider also the possibility to check the results of our BDS program in terms of satisfaction of our clients through questionnaires and so on. But the BDS can affect also the business success, and this is we can consider it as the final result of the BDS service. We can find here a sort of matrix on the methodologies of delivery of BDS. So we can see that the BDS can be provided, as we said before, directly by the financial institution. This is maybe the most natural way to provide BDS. And the second way is by an external specialized organization. We can say that both the modes have advantages and disadvantages. Maybe the first category has the main advantage that we can, through the provision of BDS internally, financial institution can provide we can say more oriented, client-oriented and tailored services, because they better know their target, their characteristics, and so they can provide also really effective services. But on the other side, the main problem is are the costs of these services. How can we isolate these costs from the costs of the financial services we are providing? So how we can separate it? How can we fix a limit between the two categories? The second methodology is through an external specialized organization. The main advantage is that we can separate the services and we can provide also different kind, more a wide, also a wide supply of BDS through this methodology, because specialized organizations are always institutions that can have a good expertise, and so they can provide BDS with professional expertise in different fields. So maybe at this level is very, very effective. This is as regards the row, but if we see the column, we can provide all the services on a voluntary base, on a compulsory base, for free or paying services. So sometimes the the microfinance institutions or the microfinance programs ask their borrower if they need some BDS or not, so they leave their clients free to choose if to belong or not to this kind of programs. Sometimes the services are compulsory, so the borrower are obliged to follow to belong to this kind of programs. Above all, as regards the startup phase. Sometimes these services are for free, and sometimes are paying services. So, and this can affect also the sustainability of the BDS within the microfinance program. This is just a list of the services we can provide within a microfinance program. So, as you can see, the division is pre-loan services and post-loan services. Maybe the most elementary services we can provide is the financial literacy and credit use for entrepreneurs. This is very important. It's very important, above all for immigrants, for example. Sometimes immigrants have not for their own limits, but for their social condition, they haven't a good knowledge or perception of the financial market possibilities and limits. So it's very important to provide in a pre-startup phase this kind of service of information services. As we said before, the vocational skill training and so on, the business planning services, it's very important. The management training, marketing and market analysis, sector technical advice, legal services, very important. The networking is not it's very important, but it's not sufficiently considered from microfinance institutions and also from by specialized BDS specialized organization. But it's very important because sometimes the entrepreneurs, above all, particularly the immigrants, have not a sufficient are not in a have not developed a social network or a professional network. So they've not not a financial capital, but they haven't a sufficient social capital. So this is very, very important. So we can help the entrepreneurs to improve their knowledge and linkings with the suppliers, customers, supporting networks, and so on. The logistic support, okay. Training on accounting and management control, medium and long-term tutoring and monitoring. So this is just a list of these services. So in the following slides, you can see the results of the microfinance industry as regards the BDS provision, and you can see that the BDS are nowadays are not sufficiently developed, or better, it's there is a good supply of BDS, but it's not so well developed in terms of quality of client-oriented services. These are the results in Italy, for example. So the last part of the presentation regards two case studies. The first one is BGE France. I want to expose you really briefly these two case studies because are important for two aspects. The first one linked to BGE is the importance of the development of national scale BDS. So even in Italy, there are some institutions or local organizations that provide BDS, but there is no coordination among them, and they cannot use the benefits of that can come from the development of a higher institution at the national level, bigger institution at the national level. So in France there is this the BGA that has been able to develop this kind of national level BDS institution. That was this institution was founded in 1979, and yes, provides all the different BDS in the different areas. But the most important thing to consider is that they have been able to develop a national scale network. So nowadays they have they are present on all the regions of France, and they have 450 local branches, 950 consultants, and 750 volunteers. So this is we can say that this is one of the possible models we can use. And this is in this slide we can see all the results reached by this institution. So the second case study is the experimentation in Hamburg regarding the telecoaching, and I wanted to show you this case study because it can be considered as a little solution to lower the costs of a BDS program. So in this, I don't know if you have already seen this case study, but anyway, it's a sort of coaching done through telephone. So there is a sort of network of consultants that on a quarterly basis provide BDS to the micro-entrepreneurs borrowers in a city microfinance program. And this program is very interesting because it's very really it's a low-cost program. Thank you very much. If there are any questions, or if we can talk about all these issues after the presentation of Thibaut.